I was like, this is the last gasp. If I live through this, then, you know, I live. If not, then that's game. All right, truth be told, I probably shouldn't have won this match. Hey there, folks. This is the Caffeinated Dad, and I'm in this match. I am playing against a Hades as Odin. I've really grown to like Odin. I like its playstyle. Having a great time. So opening up with this match, it was a wild finish. I still don't know why I won, but I guess I did. And hey, you know what? We walked away with the win. So I start out pretty standard. I get the one dwarf. I get a gatherer. I start getting some of the wood. I go for the husbandry upgrade. I don't know if I'm still going to continue doing this, but as for now, it will be a part of my standard fare. Opening up, we both used our god powers. He's Hades, so he's got Sentinel. I got Great Hunt. So we have something going on as far as the initial match. Really pretty standard opening, I should say, that I've done as I've played through. Nothing really wild or crazy. I've started to build the house first before I go ahead and build the temple. Just because I found that was a little bit, it's smoother in that transition, I should say, into the classic age. Now, truth be told, I've played this player before. I've played Karl Marx before, and every single time that I've played Karl Marx, he goes for an early rush with a Cyclops, which he's doing right now. He's going with Ares, and he focused on his foot soldiers. So I immediately spawn a Herseer. I do it to really just gather relics and such. However, it has always ended up being a fight right from the start. So I start getting a whole bunch of dwarves over here, and this really ends up helping out down the line. Really, I mean, just having the dwarfs there almost to start is fantastic. Now, I'm just getting into my first classic age god, and he is already into his classic era. Like, if you take a look, he's already got his Cyclops. His Cyclops is already on his way. Ajax is running around gathering some of these, we'll say, relics that he's found. Still hasn't gotten close to me, still hasn't gotten over there, but immediately he spawns out the Cyclops, and he goes to send in the Cyclops. And he's done this a handful of times. I've played him, I think, like 2 or 3 times, and every single time he sends that out. So I have my ravens flying around. I kind of know that he's coming with the Cyclops, so I go ahead and spawn an additional Herseer. And I have them right there ready to fight. I pull back my villagers. He tosses one, but he doesn't actually get the kill. You know, he probably could have killed that villager, but he didn't get any value whatsoever out of that, so, and everything worked out perfectly. I mean, I don't know what his plan was there, but it didn't work out. His Castacopas just runs through and gets immediately dropped. I pop down the Great Hall, and we're looking pretty good. Pretty decent start. I mean, it's not like the Cyclops is super high value, but to just immediately throw it in there, I feel like is not the best way to go about it. I feel like there's a we'll say a better way to do it. But going into it, I get the upgrade for the towers. I'm getting gatherers, and yeah, we're just moving through pretty standard. He has slightly more villagers than I do, but that's okay. Things are progressing our way pretty good. A decent amount of gold. I did pretty good about getting gold on this, and I think that was something very important that I needed to do more often. As you can see, just checking in on him, he is progressing pretty quickly with military units. He's immediately going for the hypists, the counter infantry. He's focusing wholly on a counter infantry, which I understand why, but I feel like, I mean, 5 times the damage. That's ridiculous. Like, per swing, that's like 40 damage per, if it wasn't mitigated by any armor. Things are moving pretty good. I like going for the medium rating cavalry. They're already upgraded to mediums as well. I like them a lot better. I feel like they do a lot of good damage. Their armor's kind of crappy, truth be told. Armor's pretty crappy, but it is what it is. I go for the armory, and then I immediately go for the safeguard. The safeguard increases the HP of all of my watchtowers and walls, as well as reducing the gold cost, which is phenomenal. I really got to start getting better at that, at putting up more walls, because walls really do a wonderful job. 100%. We get Rigstula. Rigstula is always one that I always like to get. Upgrading the armor, all of that. He comes in and immediately pops the pestilence. And again, pestilence is the buildings can't throw out any arrows. They can't defend, and it's a whole minute. Pestilence lasts for a very long time. But then I also can't spawn any units, and he already has quite a bit anyway. So this progresses about how you would think. I focus immediately down this Ajax. I get everyone to go in and get rid of him, so that I can bring my Ironhauer in, and he gets the Hornblow. We get a little bit of progress, but then everything starts dropping. I send him into the back line to deal out with these Toxicities. Tried to get as many kills as I can. The town center is still firing, not really doing too much. It's taking down Achilles. That was who I wanted to get down. But, I mean, there's really not much that he's going to be able to do here, because I already got my towers upgraded. And he dropped Pestilence, and it's still kind of ticking, so we're good in this sense. I'm not worried about it. His Toxicities are just running out, and he's not really able to get any kind of value there. And we're back, and everything is kind of normal. Now, I do want to take a look. He doesn't really have too many units already to be prepared for another counterattack or to continue pushing. He's got Ajax, he's got a Toxicity, and or 2 Toxicities, and that's about it. That's all he's got. I was expecting more, you know, like I wasn't quite sure of this. So he immediately gets Achilles back. He uses and he's getting his Toxicities. Yeah, basically what you would expect. So things progress kind of normally. I train some more units. I get another Hairseer, get some stuff. My Raven comes back. I build another tower just because, again, I went with the Heimdall, and it's very cheap. It just mostly costs wood, which is phenomenal. I send these cavalry up to go and deal with these guys and to see if there's anything I could see if I could raid anything. Not a whole lot going on there. I send this unit group over because I want to build another town center. Really, in hindsight, I should have been using these guys to build out some more longhouses and then some, military buildings, great halls. But it is what it is. We did what we did. We're here and we're good to go. I'm getting a whole bunch of upgrades. I get the Glare Horn upgrade to make these my Iron Horns stronger, be able to use their passive more often. And essentially, I'm focusing heavily on that economy. Now, he's also doing very well on the economy. I have to give him credit. But taking a look at this, it's all fairly, we'll say, fairly even. He's already got his second town center. He only has the 2 military producing buildings. He's getting some hoplites because I went with heavy cavalry, and basically his hippists don't have any counter damage to that. So like at that point, I should have probably changed into some kind of focus on military melee. So berserks or something like that. Decent setup from him. Everything is moving forward. I'm over here. I'm recruiting units. The Hairseers up front. I like having those guys kind of as a front line. My raiding cavalry. I got the giant killer. And yeah, things kind of stabilize here for a second. I'm trying to get better about constantly producing villagers. You see that he has 6 more than I do, which is a very big deal, honestly. The second town center goes up, and I start spamming out villagers to be over here, getting some axe throwers as well as some more Hairseers. Axe throwers, I just feel like, regardless, are just always going to be good. Really good against infantry. You can't beat them. Can't beat them. So everything's progressing about the way that you would expect. We were attacking that lion, or our villager was being killed by that lion. So things are good. I'm low on food. I'm low on food frequently because I have both of the town centers popping out villagers frequently. And I found that ends up being a very good move. Now, I do notice this. I go to set up this wooden wall right here to block off anyone trying to get to this gold mine or this town center that's way back here. And I noticed that he has all of these villagers over here. I send in my military over there. But at that same time, right up here comes this contingent of units. And again, this is 10 hoplites, 4 toxicities, Achilles, Ajax, and a handful of shades. So yeah, things are looking fairly even in that regard, like even as military is concerned. I get another giant killer just because I really like these guys. I really like their capabilities. This gets immediately wiped, no issue whatsoever. Around the same time that I get an attack that's over here. So it's kind of like a weird kind of combo. There's the watchtower getting put up, and then here comes the military, everyone just running through. I immediately react, bring all these guys over. I select my raiding cavalry to just focus solely on these toxicities in the background. Just because I know that they are going to be a problem. Now, granted, I want to pause it real quick because he has enough favor to go ahead and use Pestilence again, which, again, Pestilence is a pain in the neck to deal with. And there it goes. Now my towers are essentially useless. There's really not a whole lot that they can do. But now, all my military being able to engage, these guys just back here just destroy the toxicities. And up front again, it's kind of like a losing fight. Like every time that I engage with them, I just get absolutely wrecked. My axemen just get dropped. The hypists in the back aren't doing that good. It's not a good look, right? The town center, the watchtower isn't firing, so I have to pull these guys out. I do a very quick move, and I want to point this out, is I change them all to berserks. All these guys right here to berserks, as well as these ones back here, to be able to fight this. Because these guys in the background are doing okay. They don't have any problem dealing with these hypists. They will eventually get worn down. But I transformed all these guys into berserks to be able to deal with this. And it ends up being the smart move, we'll say, because down goes Ajax. We get a bunch of fights over here where it's a lot better. My town center should be my town center's firing. My towers should be able to deal damage here in a second. But unfortunately, I lose all of those guys. It's not a problem. I do want to point out it's not a problem because I already have these guys down here getting wood. These guys over here getting food, gold. I mean, I'm set up. I have backups, which is important to note. I also do want to point out that he's going into Aphrodite. I'm essentially just trying to stay afloat at this point. So he sends in, he goes, I believe he ends up killing this ox cart, which is fine. So I get some units up and running. Oh no, the ox cart lives. Look at that. Oh yes, and the ox cart lives with 3 HP. Let's go. So I go ahead and build a house, and I'm starting to recruit some more units. I get survival equipment to make my villagers a little bit more durable. I'm still spamming stuff as far as getting villagers and stuff like that. I immediately go into the Njord. I love Njord. I think that he's one of my favorite gods to go in as Odin. I'm just gonna say. I built a wall over here on the north side, or the northwest side. To kind of deal with any incoming raids that may be coming from this direction. But essentially right now it's about stabilization. I'm pretty good all the way across the board on all of my stuff. I think I pull these guys back at some point. Do I get them all out? I do get them all out. Nice. So I move these guys out. He immediately goes for heavy infantry, heavy range soldiers upgrades, which is that's a big deal. But I had a handful of units, we'll say. Things looking good. Things looking good. So we speed it along, spamming some units. I'm getting a bunch of hair shears. I love the hair shears up front. They also help out with my favor generation, which is a big deal. I have a decent amount, we'll say, of units being produced. I will say that I do try to pick up on where his movements are. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at what he is doing, like, he has a huge monopoly on this corner of the map. Like, he's already claimed that he's going to end up having that town center. He's got, a bunch of stables. He's got military academies. He's got a bunch of unit producing. I still think it's funny he hasn't gotten a tower. But very aggressive play style in this regard. I switch all of these guys over to farm, so I end up losing essentially all of my wood gathering capabilities at that point, which is okay. So I end up focusing on some of my upgrades. I look at it in this sense, and it's like right here, I know I was upgrading all these farms to be what they should be, and I have these guys down here farming, getting wood. I should have been building some type of, we'll say like longhouse or more military producing units, or buildings, I should say. So I get what upgrades that I can, and things are moving pretty quickly. I start getting some gatherers over here on this gold mine. They're not necessarily dwarves, but that's okay. I toss up a hill fort because I really want to protect this gold mine here, along with my tower that's over there blocking it. I get boiling oil, which ends up helping because you can then attack at melee, which is fantastic. You can't beat that. Getting a couple of upgrades. He is going for a huge unit push. See, and I found that in my matches, I end up going for unit push or for actual military upgrades, and he ends up going for just a sheer mass. Like he's already got 15 more units than I do. But you see that it's fairly even with that. So can't complain. I get a handful of portable rams to really assist. I start getting some great Jarls, which I love Jarls. They're fantastic. They deal extra damage to myth units, but they're just all around very strong. I get the upgrades. I get the Hamask, which is basically one of the stronger ones for my Berserks. They deal more damage with less HP. I get Ballistics. You can't beat Ballistics. That is very, very important. It's very, very important to have. And then I get a couple of ODs. Toss up another hill fort over here. I toss up another hill fort over here. To end up helping out with my protection, my defenses over here. I send this little raiding party over here to see what I can see. I end up getting a kill on a villager, I think. No kill on the villagers, but I pull out and I can see that he's got a whole bunch of counter horses. That's probably going to be a problem. I get the fortified town center. I have a total of 30 getting gold, which is ridiculous. I go for the heavy melee upgrades, and things are pretty good on my end, or at least what I can see. What I don't see is that he's dropping a whole bunch of fortresses, and then he has 38 hypists, and then 9 protomosts. I don't know how these guys are pronounced. And then some peletists. So this is counter range soldiers, this is counter melee soldiers, and this is counter horses. Basically countering each one of the what they are. What's funny is that I end up going with more of a focus on just all around. Like I like my horses, I have my Jarls, but then over here I only have 2 Berserks, I only have 7 throwing axemen, but I have 9 or 11 total hair shears. Which again, just overall, they're not terrible. They don't have any really damage multiplier against human units, but they're pretty durable. I got a couple of giant killers. I have my giant, and right now I'm just okay with how things are. So I get what upgrades that I can. I just go over here to build another tower just to have the extra protection. These towers end up becoming critical, really, in that regard. Like they are a big deal. But I'm getting a whole bunch of cavalry. And again, he's still getting Protomosts, and he immediately goes into the Mythic Age. I do want to point out that I come over here just to be a pain in the neck. The Mountain Giant is fantastic. I love the Mountain Giant. It deals pretty good crush damage. And against, the 5% crush, it doesn't really take all that long. I pull him back because they send all their heroes over. And it's like, look, he's just getting absolutely chunked. I send my military over here to protect, but it is so close. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. I have a throwing axes being tossed at Chiron to deal some damage with him. And this ends up forcing an engagement. Now, what I end up doing here is immediately I get the curse, right? Curse, and it takes a total... How many pigs are right here? Wait, hold on. How many pigs are right here? 6. It ends up eating 6 of my units, which really isn't all that strong, honestly, when you think about it. It's really not that good. But what I end up doing is spawning the Walking Woods, which, again, I love Walking Woods. It deals pretty good damage. It's considered a myth unit, but they're good for upfront melee combat. And right here, I send all of my horses here into the back line, in which he picks up immediately to go back here and deal with these guys. Now, my horses end up getting eaten pretty well. They take a lot of damage. But again, my Great Jarls are pretty beefy, and they can kind of hold their own. On the south side of the fight, we're doing all right. I'm spamming. I have a bunch of units spammed, and as you can see, so is he. He's spamming his units, but his heroes are down, and that's kind of a big deal, honestly. His heroes being down, I'm able to clean up quite a bit over here on the back end. I got my units moving forward. The Nemean Lion just goes down fairly quickly. It does get some decent damage out. It's like 500 damage out. I go into the Baldir upgrade. I'm getting a whole bunch of throwing axemen, mainly because I'm low on food. I don't have a whole lot of food going on right here. But just taking a quick pause, I do want to take a look at and see where he is at. He's, I mean, this entire side of the map is completely, like, blocked off, embargoed. And you look at it, he's got 6,000 gold. He only has 23 wood, but, I mean, 1,600 food. I have more of a balance on everything, but looking at it, he's got 20 more villagers than I do, which is a ridiculous amount. He's just pumping. He's got 3 armories. I don't even really know if that was necessary. But yeah, we won that initial fight, which is great. I love to see it. I get some of the units. I have my portable rams over here, and I bring them over. And I'm also still looking at favor generation. I like the favor generation. But I use that to create a hole to be able to push through here over onto this other side. Now, I still do have Undermine. I think I only ever use it like once or twice in this match. But that's something that I should probably have done differently at a different point. So I send these guys in here and they clean up some of the villagers that are here. But then I notice this large contingent of enemies. So I immediately back off. He goes ahead and pops the champion cavalry, which is going to be a problem. I send my portable rams down here just to deal some damage, just to kind of be a pain. And this over here forces another fight. Now there's, I don't know, there's probably about like 10 or 15 shades here. But I have a good amount of ranged units and things like that that are able to deal with this. Yeah, what's it? I have 8 of the goatees, so we're doing all right. So we get the buff. The Giant Killer Einhar is just so, that buff is just so strong, so strong. So he's trying to move his units, which I don't know necessarily if that was the best move at this point. Because they're all moving, they're not attacking. I know that he wanted to move out of the range of the hill fort and the tower, but I don't know if that was the play. So I clear up a lot of my stuff over here. I go into my Mythic Age, and now I have Ragnarok, which I love Ragnarok. It's been very, very good. These rams down here are dealing some massive damage to this fortress. They end up cleaning up all of the fortress, at least before they go down, which is fantastic. The Giant Killer's over here getting the damage that he needs to. We're holding our own, I should say. We're holding our own pretty well. So I have this group, we'll say, over here of Great Jarls, a Goatee, and then some throwing axemen. But then again, I'm just over here spamming out the Great Jarls. The Great Jarls are pretty strong. I take these Goatees and I have them go off and clear what they can. My main focus, really what I should have been doing is focusing down this Colossus, which I think they end up doing anyway. Just automatically go to take this thing down. Not before he gets a couple of kills. He got 4 kills before he goes down. Yeah, 4 kills, which is not bad in any way, shape, or form. But taking a look, like, he's producing a whole bunch of units. He's getting his Perseus, and we're just cleaning up what we can. Here comes a whole group of Champion Protomos because they didn't take out this last ram. I don't know what this last ram is doing. I think that's funny. I go ahead and summon another Walking Woods to have them deal as much damage as they can. And we just, again, we're just holding our own right here, although we probably shouldn't have. You know, like, we probably shouldn't have been progressing as well as we have been. Like, I send my units in here, and I mean, look at the army that he was able to pull up just immediately. So we get, I get a bunch of champion berserkers because he's now switching to full Pelotus, which I don't think that was the play. He should probably have at some point just focusing on hoplites, But once this comes in, this is not looking good. This whole unit is going to be, group is just going to be taken down. The fire giant gets taken down by Perseus. I realize this, and I'm pretty sure I pull these guys back. Yeah, I pull these guys back because I'm like, that's not going to be a good fight. We'll just let them die and fill it out, and we'll be okay. I still have the Ragnarok in the back pocket. I'm upgrading the armor so that they are as high in armor as they could possibly be. But if you look at his military production compared to mine, like, he has a lot more. He has a lot of room to fill with that. And then here comes a pretty big attack. And I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to survive that. Because look at the control that he has on this map all around. Like, this whole side's blown open, yeah. But, I mean, he just has this mass military that's right here. And now he's also going for the levy improvements and then all the iron weapons, which we have all the iron weapons. I say, you know what? It's a sink or swim time. I pop Ragnarok. It is time to pop Ragnarok. It's time to get all these guys up and moving. We need to get the heroes into this. So I send these guys out, and these heroes are pretty beefy. 50% damage reduction, basically against everything. Still spamming out units, still spamming out portable rams. I do have the, market that's back here that's able to summon a bunch of stuff. But here comes another group, 35 heroes of Ragnarok. And these Ragnarok guys are over here taking care of these catapults, no problem. So we progress, and now it's all or nothing. It is all or nothing at this rate. There is nothing... There's no further that I can really go. I'm still summoning Great Jarls. I love the Great Jarls, but it's basically like everything is cleared out. I have nothing. I do still summon a couple of villagers to hopefully be able to gather some food, but I am out. I am tapped completely on food. Everything is essentially, this is it. This is where I need to be, and if I don't win this push, then I'm done. That's game. So we clear through most of these guys like pretty well. I will admit there's 53 Heroes of Ragnarok. I dropped the Undermine to deal damage to these buildings to just give us a little bit of leeway. But I've gone with like this kind of like divide and conquer kind of thing. So we go through. I get the Walking Woods spawn so that they can come back here and attack. And I'm still spamming out what units that I can. And it ends up being a lot of ranged because I have gold as well as wood. So I can spam out a whole bunch of the, we'll say the producing, the range damage units. I get a couple of portable rams, and they're just going to town. I think there's a couple over there. There's one right there. I have them moving forward. I mean, things are just, it's all or nothing. That's where I was at. I was like, this is the last gasp. If I live through this, then, you know, I live. If not, then that's game. Still producing what units that I can. I still have food. I'm trading it for gold. But essentially, once that gold runs out, I'm done. That's game. So I get the main town center. This group's down here working on their town center, and they're trying to do what they can to keep it up. But again, town centers are very beefy. He's got the fortified town center. My Walking Woods, man, they produce. They do the damage. I love the Walking Woods. Portable rams over there. I'm looking at this in hindsight right now. Like this was a horrible way to deal with all this. I get the portable rams to head south. I'd go over here and deal with all these units and stuff like that. But I lost this group up at the north. I don't know why he gave up. I really have no idea why he gave up. I was essentially, if he would have survived this, like there was nothing left that I could do. Like he has, how many? Hold on, can we look at him? He has 13 hypists. He's got Petrobolus. He's got all these villagers over here with one town center. Like, I think he just misread the bluff. I think that he was like, oh, well, that's it. Like, there's no way that I can win. And it's like, I'm looking at it and it's like, yeah, you could have. Look at all these. Look at what you have. You have so much. Well, somehow he gives in and says that that's it. I was fully expecting to lose this one, but hey, we won. Oh man, that was fun.